Welcome to the Living in Utah live question and answer session Thursday evening, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. I try to make it every week. I didn't make it last week, but we're here this week. Big news. We'll talk about the Winter Olympics. I've been talking about this for about the last year that we possibly would get the Winter Olympics. And I had my fingers crossed thinking, I hope it comes true. I hope Salt Lake does get chosen. It is official. The Winter Olympics will be coming to Salt Lake City in 2034. An official announcement was made yesterday. We did hold the Olympics in 2002. I was at those Olympics. It's a great event. I don't know what it cost last time, but this time it's estimated to cost $4 billion. $4 billion. Whew. The federal government usually throws in a lot of money. I know the last time we held the Olympics, the federal government threw in a lot of money to do road construction projects. We still have venues here that were used in the last Olympics. So we have the infrastructure in place. Some of it has been turned over, like up at Weber State University. They built a little Olympic village for the athletes to stay, basically apartment buildings. And when the Olympics left, that particular piece of property was turned over to Weber State, and they now use it for student housing. I don't know if there's a provision in there that says if the Olympics ever come back, they get to use the housing again. I'm not too sure, but we do have facilities, and we have facilities that have grown. And we are getting new facilities. They want to redo the Delta Center where the Utah Jazz plays because we now have an NHL hockey team. So that arena has to be modified. And they're talking about building a whole downtown area, blocking off some streets, bringing in restaurants, make it a walkable area so you can eat and go to the bars and restaurants before you go to a game. For hockey and basketball will be in the same arena. The arena is already there now, the Delta Center. So there's a lot going on. Rice-Eccles Stadium is still there that held the opening and closing ceremonies of the Olympics. The Olympic Park up in Park City is still there. So a lot of items are still here. I imagine we're going to expand on some of that, but it's a great time. Even if you're not living in the state of Utah, I'd recommend going to the Olympics. It's a fantastic event. Me personally, I've never really followed winter sports, skiing, et cetera. I'm a skier myself, but I don't really follow the sport. And we had the opportunity to go and watch. I watched the men's downhill. I also watched the women's downhill. And it's just amazing what those athletes can do. The speed, the maneuverability. It's just fascinating because that same slope that they race down, I've skied down before. And it's remarkable what the athletes can do. But it's amazing being able to be in the crowd, rooting for the Americans, et cetera. It's great. So Snow Basin held the downhill skiing. They actually have made an announcement that they are ready for the Olympics. They would like to host the downhill skiing event. That facility up there has grown since the Olympics came. There's also talk that they want to put a hotel on the property. Not too sure where that's at in the whole building stage or planning stage. But I imagine with the Olympics now coming, that may happen. But there's a lot going on. And I think Salt Lake City will be a great host of the Olympics. We were, for the 2002 Olympics, we were one of the only event holders that actually made money with the Olympics. A lot of countries have lost money holding the Winter Olympics. And back then in 2002, they said Salt Lake City actually made money. we'll see how it goes for 2034. What does it mean for the state of Utah? It's good and bad. The good, it puts Utah in the spotlight. Now for the next 10 years, the state of Utah will be talked about. You know, the Olympics coming, just like right now, the Olympics coming to Paris, It puts the world spotlight on the state of Utah, which typically means more growth, more people moving into the state, more businesses probably moving into the state, more jobs moving into the state. I noticed that Utah's, if you want to call it the boom, happened after the Olympics. Some people came to the Olympics, had a great time. Maybe they got offered a job in Utah and would not have considered it. But since they came to the Olympics, I think some of those individuals are like, yeah, I've been there. I'll take a job there. I think that'll happen in 2034. On the downside, home prices will probably increase. More people moving to the state. The growth continues for at least another 10 years plus. That's hard for some of the people that already live here, that are trying to get into homes. I think it's going to be tough to purchase if we price people out. Not a big fan of that. I'd like to see everybody as a homeowner. So we'll see how it goes. But the spotlight will be on the state of Utah, and for the next 10 years plus. So we got 10 years to the Olympics. Utah will be in the news for the Olympics coming, things that are going to be built, the road construction that's going on, the athletes, et cetera, et cetera. Hopefully not for any kind of drama. If you remember the Olympics in 2002, we did have a couple individuals that were running the Olympics. A little bit of a scandal happened. They had to resign, and that's when Mitt Romney stepped in to run the Olympics, kind of, at the last minute in a sense. It was probably only a few months before the Olympics, but we did have that little bit of a scandal. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time, but I'm excited for the Olympics, very excited for the Olympics. I think it's great to see it come back to the United States. The United States really, with having the Summer Olympics coming back to the United States here in a few years, and then getting the Winter Olympics in 2034, and we're having other events coming to the United States here, world events coming to the United States here in the upcoming years, really puts the whole country into the spotlight. We'll have the World Cup. We'll have the Summer Olympics. We'll have the Winter Olympics, all over a 10-year period, 11-year period. So the whole United States will be on the map. Any questions this evening? Can I help you with anything? What do you feel about the Olympics? Do you think it's good for the state of Utah, bad for the state of Utah? It will bring a lot of money to the state of Utah with tourism, and I would imagine most of the ski resorts, once, between now and the Olympics and after the Olympics, the facilities will have to increase. The amount of people that will come to the state to ski here, I think, will just increase and increase. So we'll need, the facilities will have to be expanded. So I guess it's a good thing it's a great thing for the skiing industry. So it's probably why, maybe one of the reasons that one of the ski resorts that we have in Utah, one of the owners of Netflix purchased an enormous stake in the ski resorts. And I would imagine that part of that reasoning was because we possibly would get the Winter Olympics, and that has now happened. Well, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Take care. Stay safe. See everybody next weekend.